I want to answer a couple comments before we go on to other players here. Joey Lucio in the chat. John, do we get in if we bounce Frank and make moves at the deadline, or is the season over? One, you don't bounce Frank. Period.
Thank you.
Exclamation
Thank
point.
you. 100%.
Okay?
Thank you.
As frustrated as we are, I want all Suns fans to hear this, okay? You need to hear this because y'all are like Nick Cannon, okay? You're wilding out, okay? We are frustrated with Frank Vogel, and we are frustrated with the fact that this team is not providing any of the defensive identity that we believe that he would bring. But the solution is not to hit the reset button 25 games into a season. It will get worse,
Preach.
much worse if that occurs, okay? Understand that. At the end of the season, there's conversations that need to be happen, that need to occur and should happen. And at that time, we can have that conversation. But everybody needs to get off of the Frank Vogel needs to be fired bandwagon. What's out there? Earl Watson? You're going to pull some analysts off of NBA TV and all of a sudden he's going to instill some amazing thing? No, it's a peak and a valley, right? And there's peaks in the season, there's valleys in the season. And here in the valley, we are in a valley, okay? And that's just the way that it goes. So you don't bounce the coach. Moves made at the deadline. It's another thing I want to remind Suns fans of. There's not a lot of moves to be made. With the way that this roster is built, okay? We're so happy to have Kevin Durant. And we're tickled pink that we have Devin Booker. And oh my God, Bradley Beal with his no trade clause. We have all of these things, right? Because we have these very nice things, it negates any flexibility with our roster. Unless you're trading Grayson Allen, who's about a $9 million a year contract.
Which don't do, by the way.
Which don't do. I completely agree. Do not do that. Or Nasir Little, who's a $6.4 million a year contract. Everybody else is on a better minimum deal. Unless you stack like 5 people. And again, you have to look at the other side of the equation. How is that appealing to anybody out there? How's anybody like, you know what, I'll take 5 of your guys, and you can have my guys worth $6 million. Let me do you that solid. It's not going to happen. It's not how it works. So we're kind of stuck with what we have, right? We kind of, the PJ Tucker talk, all that fun stuff. Like, PJ Tucker is a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. Would I love for us to just wave Bol, bring in PJ Tucker after he's been bought out by the Clippers at some point? That'd be fantastic. But even if you get that, like, how many fucking buyout guys have changed the courses of seasons in the NBA? They just don't happen. Am I missing anything on Frank Vogel or making moves at the deadline, Suns Geek?
I am so glad you talked about this. Thank you. Suns fans, if you didn't hear it from John just now, Frank Vogel is not getting fired. This is not NBA 2K. You can't just press a button and fire a coach. And as John said, it would make things 110% worse. You guys think it's worse now, Suns fans? It would get even worse if we fired our head coach. Now, look, that does not excuse the terrible defense this far into the season. But Frank Vogel is a good coach. And whether you think it was an asterisk or not, he has won a championship before, and he's gone really far into the playoffs, and he's had good defensive teams. Frank Vogel is not getting fired. Suns fans are just acting like spoiled little brats and everything when they say that. It's not going to happen. And also, you know, I do agree with you. You know, look, maybe James Jones can cook up something, but there's no trade really on the horizon, at least right now in December 17th or 18th, whatever day it is. It's not going to help. And look, I love PJ Tucker, man. I love him. He's one of my all-time favorite Phoenix Suns, but he's not going to save this team. And by the way, can I go on another quick little rant here? Just because a player becomes available, like they get waived or released or whatever, doesn't mean the Suns are interested in them. They probably look at that player and go, okay, he's available. All right, let's focus on our team now. It's not going to happen, Phoenix Suns fans. Just relax. Calm down, guys. I'm sorry. I just had to go on that little rant there. Firing Frank Vogel is not the answer.
I'm with you. And again, like, the season is long, and we go through this a lot. Right? Like, we've been through this as Suns fans throughout our entire existence as Suns fans. You just need to chill. It's the 26th game of the season. Are we being driven nuts right now? Are we going crazy? Yeah, because we care. You know, it's like Suns Fever 83 says in the chat. I almost jumped off the bandwagon today. Glad I was able to hold on. Clearly being facetious, but that's how we all felt today.
Even me. I can't be a hypocrite. I agree.
Yeah, I was about to jump off the second deck here at the Footprint Center and land on some unsuspecting fan who was pounding nachos because I can't take it anymore. Like, I'm just like, what am I doing?
And we cover the team, man. This is our job.
I know. It's like, we love doing this, but it also drives you a little bit nuts. But that's what fandom is, right? It stands for fanatic. and we're all clearly fanatics, and we're all very emotionally invested, and so we feel these. I mean, you know what it's like when you watch a different basketball team. Okay, example, I was watching the Jazz and the Kings last night, and Keegan Murray scored 12 fucking 3-pointers in the third quarter. It was insane. And you're sitting there and you're watching, you're entertained. You're like, this is fun. Basketball's fun because you have no emotional connection to it. When you watch the Suns, every play, you're finding 4 things that are wrong that happen on that play.
Yep.
And we still hit a 3-pointer on the play.
Yep.
That's just how it goes. That's what being a fan is. So I know that a lot of people know that and probably don't need to hear it, but I thought I'd throw it out there into the ether, you know. But we all want to jump off the bandwagon a little bit. But you know what keeps you back on? The fact that you have Kevin Durant.
What's up, son?